Naomi, aka Trinity Fatu, is expected to return to WWE. I'm going to tell you everything we know about this story so far, when this could happen, why is this happening, and so much more. I'm Omer Q for Real Take Wrestling. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Okay, so on the same day that it is speculated that Sasha Banks, now known as Mercedes Moné, is going to debut for AEW, we're also hearing rumblings and reports that Trinity Fatu, the reigning Knockouts champion in TNA, is expected to return to WWE and will likely do so under her WWE moniker, Naomi. Here's part of the report from FightfulSelect.com. Best $5 in the business. It says, quote, Trinity Fatu could be on the open market soon, and a major player is looking to land her. Report goes on to say, one WWE source told Fightful on Tuesday that, quote, something huge would have to happen for her not to end up back in WWE sooner rather than later. But this is a crazy free agent, period. That is the quote from the Fightful report. For the full report, go over to FightfulSelect.com. So we kind of knew that eventually, like, this domino would fall. Everyone has been talking about Naomi. We've been focused on Becky Lynch potentially being a free agent down the line this year. Drew McIntyre, Rollins, all these people. And one person who's kind of slipped under the radar, who is a major free agent player, is Naomi. And, you know, we were kind of unsure what her contract status with Impact Wrestling / TNA was. She, of course, is the TNA Knockouts champion as it stands right now. She's set to face Jordynne Grace at Hard to Kill later this month. And it's for the title. So this could be a situation where if they expect her to be back soon, then I think that you could see Jordynne Grace taking the belt off of Naomi at the pay-per-view. Of course, we don't know what sooner rather than later means. Soon could be a month from now, could be 2 months, 3 months from now. Like, there's a lot of things that are still, I think, going to be finalized over the next little while with this situation. And I also want to point to a very interesting note there at the end of the quote that Fightful reported on. And it says, quote, something huge would have to happen for her not to end up back in WWE sooner rather than later. And then it ends by saying, but this is a crazy free agent, period. That is saying that they being WWE, seem to expect Naomi to be back with the company, but with the caveat that is on some Sting shit. The only thing that's for sure is that nothing is for sure. Because we know that Tony Khan is very adamant that he wants to be competitive and aggressive. I believe that was the term that he used in the post-World's End media call, that he wanted to be aggressive in free agency this year. And this, like I said, is a massive year for wrestling free agency. We've already seen some insane moves this year. I think we're going to see even more. Like, just think about the last few days, what's happened. You've had, of course, the likes of QT Marshall leave AEW, Shawn Spears leave AEW, Andrade El Idolo leave AEW and become a free agent. And then you have this large pool of former WWE releases like Dolph Ziggler, like Mustafa Ali, like Matt Riddle, who are all free agents at this point. TNA is teasing a massive free agent signing pretty soon. You have AEW, who's going to be aggressive, who look like they're about to sign Mercedes Moné, and many more talent who are going to hit the free agent market. There is so much that is going to happen over the next next few months of professional wrestling that are going to, I think, turn the tide of what we thought was going to happen in 2024, what we thought were going to happen in these storylines, what we thought were going to happen in these companies in a way that I don't think a lot of us could imagine. So it's exciting. And I know that there are people, like a lot of people like to be tribalists out there. People like to root for their teams. They like to root for the company that they like the most, and that's fine. There is nothing wrong with supporting companies and the types of wrestling that you prefer. That's a good thing. That means that there is a healthy professional wrestling market if there are companies that cater more to your style as a fan and more to what you want to see. And I think given that nature of it and the less toxic tribalism, I don't even know what to call it, like just the fun tribalism, I think that there's going to be a lot of fun things on the horizon in that respect because there's going to be people moving. I think this personally, as long as I've been a fan and I've been watching wrestling pretty consistently since 2003, I think that this is the most exciting time as that I will ever see as a fan of professional wrestling. Like 2024 is going to be a big year. And I think like it's just getting started. There's going to be so much that's going to happen. Just the news that we're expecting to happen on top of what we don't know. Like the unknown news that we can't account for. The brawl outs, for example, or the WWE TKO merger. Like the things that we don't know are going to happen are also going to happen. And then the things that we kind of know, the dominoes that we know are going to fall, are also going to fall. It is a fun-ass time to be a professional wrestling fan. And if you're Naomi or if you're one of these big free agents, it's a real fun time to negotiate your contract because you just had Charlotte Flair negotiate reportedly the largest contract for a woman in WWE history. You have Mercedes Moné, who is reportedly asking for similar or comparable monetary value in her next deal. You have Becky Lynch, who's going to become a free agent soon. You have Seth Rollins, who's going to try to, you would assume, kind of change the free agent market for some of these major signings. So much is going to happen. And I think at some point you're going to see multiple major players from both companies switch and go to different companies. And like that, and for the people who say that, oh my God, that's so bad or whatever, it can be if you end up losing more than you're gaining. But like let's say you're AEW and you lose a Ricky Starks, but in return you gain a Drew McIntyre or like something like that, right? Like those are things that balance each other out. And that's when I think this free agent market, that's where I think this free agent market could be really good. But we'll see what happens. But as of right now, expect Naomi to be back in WWE sooner rather than later. I want to hear from you, though. What do you guys think is going to happen with this situation? Is Naomi actually headed back to WWE? Will she reportedly join Mercedes Moné, who is supposed to be joining AEW at some point or expected to join AEW at some point? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.